Hello,
Huh?
how are you? Who's here with me? Hello, how are you doing today? Oh, I guess you left. Hello, how are you doing? Hope everything is doing well with you. Hope we can learn some things from each other and have a great, beautiful, bright, sunny day.
Hello, hello. Is there anybody out there? Click the link. Join us. Hello, hello. Who's out there? Welcome to the Wolf Lady and Dirty Larry show. Hello, hello. Ollie, Ollie, Oxy, free, free, free. Come in or say something on the chat, please.
Hello, how is everybody doing today? Oh, we lost one already. Guess my voice scared them away.
The number's messing with us, and we just have a few stalkers. Come on, guys. Come up.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
How are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope you join us this evening. It's okay.
Okay, so we have a little thing. Should Larry take his new computer apart while I'm here and leave me without something to do and watch on TV or get on here, or
She's got plenty to do, and that's me.
can't do you if you're doing the thing. So
I make
ooh.
time unlike you.
So vote. would be correct.
I'm sorry, Erm. How you doing, man?
Oh, hey man, what's up? We were about to end the broadcast because nobody came around. Hey, Moose.
I was looking at stuff trying to figure out my lights on my computer, how to make my lights on my fans and stuff work.
Did any of you hear the thing for voting? It's only a joke, but Larry needs to take the new computer apart, like open it up, and try and get the lights to his fans working. And I told him, I said, well, you're going to have to do that when I'm gone. He's like, why is that? I said, well, because we can't use and the computer. I can't do anything with it, and I can't get on here or nothing. So what's the verdict? Should we wait until I leave tomorrow afternoon, or should he get me and just...
Yeah, I want to get her.
Yeah, we know that, but that's irrelevant.
See how these women are?
Hell yeah.
Still moving in, huh, Moose?
Damn, Moose. It'll be a while, I'm sure.
He showed me his side of his house that's got to all be re-sided and all this other stuff. He's got a lot of work. I asked him when he was going to fly me down, and
Damn.
tried telling me he's a broke bastard, but
Yeah, Moose says get her. Well, that kind of get her will get me later. Maybe, if he's a good boy.
Yeah, you're that maybe, that famous maybe. That's hogwash. You should commit to your word. Yes, sir. Moose is back in Maine.
Maine.
We went from 4 people down to 1.
2.
Now we're at 2. Hey, at least the counter's working. It didn't work this morning.
Oh. Yeah, I heard.
That's what I forgot to do.
Well, oh, not.
You're still there. See?
I won't mention, though, that I've also got my laptop here right now, but it has nothing on it yet. Because we just switched it over from Windows 7 to 10, right? No? Yes? So nothing's on it. And I have my phone I could use, but that's completely irrelevant. It's always nicer to have everything on the big screen. Why?
2 months. Is that, you think that 2 months, you can do all that by yourself in 2 months? Yeah, he's usually open in the summer, I believe. Goblin! Good to see you, bud.
Hey, everybody in the house. What's up?
What came
Your
up?
thing.
Oh, shit. There we go. That looks scary. There we go. That looks a little better.
I still look really washed out. There's light coming in through the door window, and it...
You look like a ghost. I have some color. Ha.
Well, I do glow in the dark. I'm just... Yeah.
I got 27 whole views this morning. Damn. Styling and profiling. I had that other cam out. I don't know what happened to it. What's that?
I thought you had said that I didn't have anything left on my computer.
You're gonna screen later, huh? Or stream later? That's cool, Goblin. Oh shit, here comes trouble.
And it ain't me this time.
I expect to see a bruised up face.
Ha.
No way. No way.
Damn.
That
Man,
was
I got
fucking
you.
fun.
Yeah, right
Yeah,
on,
it
dude.
was.
Right on.
That
Yeah,
was
we
so
lost
much
you,
fun.
and I said, "Oh shit! I hope he didn't drop his phone."
He's talking about his war he had this morning with his
Oh, the
son.
war. Okay, I gotcha. I'm
Damn-
behind.
Yeah.
Don't
Damn
mind me.
women think they always think it's always about all them.
Well, I haven't seen him
We
since
need
then.
to
So
talk
there.
about something much more important. Let's talk about me.
Oh, okay.
Herb says, "Daddy, Daddy."
Delete file
Yes, son?
removed.
Are you going to come play airsoft with us next time, son?
Fuck, that'd be awesome.
From Maine to Minnesota, that sounds like a trip.
Less of a trip than from us.
I'm telling you, dude, watching my son's face light up was worth every fucking penny I've spent on that.
I bet.
Oh
That
yeah.
is cool.
I remember when my kids were a lot younger, we went paintballing, and then we just went to my ex's uncle's house, and they had a whole backyard that we
Right.
could paintball in. Oh man, it was awesome. Yeah.
Airsoft is like paintball, but it's not as violent, if that makes sense. It is in a sense, but it isn't in a big sense. And what I
So
mean
did
by
you-
that is when you get hit by a paintball, you fucking know you got hit by a paintball.
Oh yeah. It's
When you
wicked.
get hit with an airsoft BB, there's some guns you know it came. Some of those guns you know that shit went through the air and it hit you. It
Yep.
hurt. Just a smidge.
Yeah.
Not like a paintball. This
Oh,
is fun.
no.
Paintball is like, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it was wicked. I accidentally, honest to God, accidentally, and I'll swear on whatever, it was accidental. I picked up my gun and I picked it up wrong, and I shot my husband right in the. I'll tell you what,
No wonder you're a divorced
all of
woman.
it was black for like weeks on end. And
I bet.
anytime
That's
he got
like
excited,
murder.
he said every time he got excited, he was just like wishing he was dead. So yeah,
Well, think
watch
about
that.
it. You killed an entire generation of children.
And you would think
Like
so.
you
but
literally
no,
created
prog-
you literally created genocide on an entire, and I mean, think about that. How many children could have he produced with one, and he was down for months? That's horrible.
Well-
That's horrible. I don't even want to
Well,
think about that anymore.
He
That makes me hurt.
eventually forgot he was
I
married.
heard for that
anyway.
man.
Oh, I heard for him too. I've been kicked in the groin before. That shit fucking hurts. Okay, I don't care who you are.
So,
But yeah, he forgot he was
speaking
married
of
at one
hurting,
point.
yeah. Yeah, that I did that too.
That now?
Forgetting you're married is a bad idea.
I couldn't produce another child for him. And he veered to another younger woman and wound up, get this, having a daughter, which I lost our daughter. I was hit by a car in a parking lot at 5.5 months. So he named their daughter our dead daughter's name. And she was born on my oldest daughter's birthday.
Sounds like some revenge within himself. We all do things, and think about it. What kind of state would you have to be in? What kind of state would you have to be in order to do something like that? That is prison in itself. Like, that state of mind. That's what I'm learning about people, is we put ourselves into these states of minds, and it's literally fucking prison. And it's a prison within our own mind because we can't get out of that concept of thinking. And therefore, everything that we do revolves around that same center of thinking. Like, for instance, you know, with people like your ex-husband, for instance, who lost a daughter, and it consumed him to the point where he had to make it anew. And he's never going to have, like, his daughter was it. Right. Yeah. None of that can happen ever. But he wanted it so bad that he'd be willing to destroy his life to create new.
12 years.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we create our own prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real. I mean, like, for instance, Erm. Erm is a great example.
Erm. Oh, no.
See, Erm was looking for a father one day, and I just happened to be around, and now he's got a father.
He said I could keep him.
Huh?
He said I could keep him.
Keep what?
Tracer.
Oh, are you sure? Okay. Cool. They're in your room.
What a good daddy.
They look glow in the dark.
I could just imagine the knowledge and wisdom you are teaching that son of yours. Oh my gosh, it's phenomenal just to think. You could just put little seeds here and there.
I plant seeds. I don't grow. Yeah, I don't grow plants. I put seeds in that young man, because the thing about it is if I taught him how to read, he wouldn't have any interest. But if I gave him a reason to want to, he'll have every interest in the world.
That's right. That's right. Yep. Absolutely.
And honestly, my best teacher, oh, that's pretty cool. My best teacher is that dude right there. That little man is my best teacher by far.
I bet.
He has literally solely by himself brought out the best of me.
Okay. You were roboting, sorry.
I said he literally brought out the best of me. He made me become the man that I am today, because I had to be a better man than I was yesteryear, because he deserves it.
Yeah. Yeah.
More importantly, he made me realize that I deserve it.
Oh, isn't that awesome?
You know, and there were some things like from my childhood that I did not experience that I wanted to. For instance, camping with my father. I would have loved to go camping with my father. I wouldn't say never had the opportunity. He never had the desire. Well, guess what? I get to go camping as the father.
Damn right. You got it. My kids, I let them do the things or expose them to the things that I know I was deprived of. Absolutely. And I was deprived of a lot of that simply because, like, going to the beach. I lived in San Diego for fuck's sake. Going to the beach.
Right, you live by the beach. It was a
No, not by
quarter
the
to get
beach.
on the bus to get to the beach.
No. We lived in the East County, or in the what they call the East County area. But
Sure. I'm saying in comparison to somebody like myself in Minnesota,
yeah,
you were
yeah.
25 cent worth of riding on the bus to get to the beach. You had I'm agreeing
$1.
with what you're saying.
Yeah, I used to pay $1. I used to take off and go when I was a
Okay.
teenager.
So I was
Because
going back a couple of years to a quarter. Buses were cheap in Minnesota.
oh yeah, not out in San Diego. But all she ever said to me was, "Oh, there's nothing but druggies and homeless and da 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 da. And the sand's
So
got all
what?
these sand crabs and da 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 da, and you could get diseases and da da da." And I'm like,
You could
okay,
get that
I
shit
love
from your
it, all
fucking
right.
neighbor.
But guess what? Guess what I did? I went and saw. I went and
You're fucking
looked.
right.
Them
You're fucking
motherfuckers were
right.
some of the nicest people out there. You know, hey, where are you going? Not wanting anything from me, nothing. Just, hey, do you need something? Da 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 da. You know, Sunset Cliffs in San Diego is phenomenal,
Of course it is.
amazing. And I used to write a lot of my angry poetry for the things my mother would say to me. And I would look up and I'd crumple it up and I'd go, there it is. I give it back and get rid of it. All gone.
And sun sets and sun starts. Absolutely.
Man.
Good for you.
Oh
Good for
man.
you.
And all that couldn't have been accomplished if, yeah, I guess I was a little disobedient for doing it and whatnot. But when you're told certain things, you know, not just, oh, don't step on that grass, you know, on that glass, or be careful how you watch this, you might break it, or da da da. No, this was something out there, beautiful, that was wonderful, that she polluted in my mind. And I kept thinking, she says all this other shit to me, and I know it's not
100%. I disagree with that 100%. The reason
With
I
what?
disagree the reason I disagree with that 100% is you just told me the exact opposite, that you see it completely different. So she taught you
do.
one thing, but you perceived another. Just like with my father, for instance, you know, I can't speak on a lot of things, but I can speak on personal experience. And my dad, he was a yeller. My dad, he wasn't an abusive man in the sense of like he smacked me around all that often. Every once in a while, but most of the time I deserved it or whatever. Sure, whatever. Fuck all that judgment. The grand reality is my dad yelled a lot. He was a very angry man in his voice.
That was my mother.
Guess what I don't do? Guess what I don't hardly do? You don't hear me yell unless there's a real good damn reason.
Yeah, I've
I don't
chosen
need to.
that way too. It's like, why?
I'm glad he did. I'm very glad he did. And the reason that I'm glad he did is because I learned from his example. We always say set an example, right? Well, we always set an example. It's how the example is perceived that actually matters. Because our example, we could set the worst fucking example in the world. And I mean, you know, like Shai has said many a time, she's come up and she said, yeah, this was shit, but I learned better. Well, that's prime example. Same thing with my dad. You know, like I'm thinking of people that you may know. Yeah, obviously you do know Shai, but what's up? Yeah, after a bit here. Possibly.
Yeah.
Just
You know,
one can.
it's what you learn, it's what you perceive by what you've been given. You know, if you perceive you've been given a pile of shit, well, guess what? You're fucking right.
But I wanted to see.
And even if
I
you were
wanted to know.
right.
Yeah, don't
right.
go downtown at fucking 2:00 in the morning. You're gonna see a lot of druggies. You're gonna see a lot of things you don't want to see. But
at the same time,
I
can you
saw.
blame a parent? I don't know how it was in your house, but a lot of the time that my parents told me not to do something, Like growing up where I grew up, if they told me don't go outside past dark, when I was like 10 years old, I lived in the hood. I didn't go outside past dark. And it was a very long time till I was able to go outside after dark. Like there were legitimate danger. Like people got shot down the road. People got stabbed down the road.
I get that.
And I think that there's a fine line in parenting. You have two types of parents. You have good parents and you have the rest. I don't even want to say bad parents, just the rest. You know, and the thing that sets a good parent aside of, at least to me, in my perception of it, is a good parent will allow a child to experience, but experience with protection. So that they are...
Why didn't they just take me? Why didn't she just take me?
I asked my dad that same question about the camping. I said, why didn't we ever go? He's like, well, you probably wouldn't have wanted to. I said, you never fucking asked. And you know what? Here's the cool thing. Check this out. Now, for me, I have a rare opportunity. Because I called him up and I was like, all right, so my son and I are going camping. We're going camping this summer. Exactly. I get exactly what I've always wanted. And I have an extra bonus on top of it. You know, and that's a rare opportunity. That is that. And it's because I have done what I've done. It's because I've forgiven as I've forgiven. Because if I held that animosity towards my father for the things that he did or did not do, then the same measure in which I judge would come back upon me with my very own child. You know, and then my own son would be able to ask me those same questions because I would inherently make those same types of mistakes. I'll make my own mistakes. And they will be plenty, but they will not be those mistakes.
Right.
Yeah. And sometimes you might start walking that line, like Erm said. He said, it's a line you have to skate all the damn time. Because there's times when you might get to that point and you're just like, whoa, hold on. But I just asked the question, you know, why not take me? Why not show me what you're talking about?
And
show me. I love.
That's really that's how I raise my child. Because I've learned a long time ago. Seeds. Yep, you plant that seed and you just walk away. Just like I told, I was talking to
whichever ones he wants.
Right, I was talking. Did I tell you or about me talking to the standards board officer?
No.
Okay, so I was talking to a standards boards officer about a conversation that I had it's the professional standards within the police department. I'm not gonna, for privacy's sake, I'm not gonna mention the department specifically, but it was a somewhat local department to me, and I had a conversation with an officer prior that went something along the lines of, we didn't do anything wrong. Please read the law to me, sir. He read the law, realized that he actually did something wrong, got defensive, started cop-splaining. And then I said, sir, let me ask you this. Do you even know the First Amendment? Do you know the 5 elements of the First Amendment? Out of his own mouth. No, sir, I don't. I said, how the fuck can you be? Well, I asked him, I said directly to him, I said, you don't know the very first 5 elements of the very first law. I'm not even looking for the law. I'm just looking for the 5 elements. And you don't know these as a supervisor in a police department? That's pitiful. Well, then when his standards board came by, he called me up and I reamed his ass out for a good half an hour, 45 minutes. And he's like, sir, if there's nothing else that I can do for you, I was like, there's plenty that you can do. There's standing up and being a good officer. And, you know, quite frank and honest, I'm questioning why you're not stomping the guts out of your officer for being out there, being law enforcement, not knowing the goddamn law.
Yeah.
He didn't like that. We went around and around. I reamed his ass out a couple ways to Sunday, and we ended up having a good conversation after all is said and done. After he started treating me with respect, all of a sudden I switched off that fucking angry moan and right back to normal. Hey, this is how we fix this issue.
Yeah.
You know, you're the standards. You're the standards board. So if your standards are that you don't need to know the law in order to be law enforcement, then I would question your ability to conduct yourself as an officer. Yeah, and we went back and forth, and I mean, it's not like we had this great conversation where we just sat there and kissed each other's ass. But he definitely understood where I was coming from. I was not under his jurisdiction till I committed a crime, and that won't be happening. So I will never be under his jurisdiction, and I made it clear. You know, and he tried to bring in the, because I had said that I would feel that it would be an interesting endeavor to bring a video camera to his local department, as so many have. And he's like, "Oh, is that a threat?" And I was like, "What kind of threat would somebody make?" That was, and I was like, "That is absolutely ridiculous." First and foremost, I don't touch rats. He didn't like that.
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay.
No,
Why not?
because
Where's it
I'll
at?
talk to you about.
That was text from my thing.
I'll talk to you.
Pay more.
That was actually
Oh, fuck.
the 10.
No, that 10 was from TV.
There was 2 10s.
Where's the other 10?
I don't know.
No, I put the other 10 with you.
I'll figure it out. Okay. I'll figure it out.
Done some potatoes.
Yeah, needless to say, it was a rather intense, rather interesting conversation, to say the least.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We're right in the middle of dinner. Rubbing roast.
Well, I don't see what the point of being a police officer is if you're unable to to even understand the principles of the law. Like, we're sitting here on a fucking panel, and I bet you everybody on this panel, and I bet you most of the people in the chat, I don't know who's down there right now. I know for a fact that Goblin could. Well, I don't know that for a fact, but I have a very good suspicion that Goblin could tell you the 5 elements. I'm pretty sure Moose could. Now, I'm pretty sure could probably do it. And we're just regular human beings. Why is it that a law enforcement agent that's getting paid to enforce this cannot even it flabbergasted me.
It will. It absolutely will. It's stunning sometimes. It really is. You sit there and you ask them and yada yada, and you're just like, yeah. All right.
Well, the thing is I don't talk to police very often, but out of the 2 police officers that I have talked to in the past year,
Yeah.
there's been 2 of them. I have asked the same question to both of these men. Both of these men are on duty, mind you, at the time of me asking this question. Neither one of them could tell me the 5 elements of the First Amendment. Different departments.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. I want to know when and why, though. I mean, I can remember when I was young, watching training videos like I have it recently, and they're like night and day. But when did they change, and why did they change from peace officer to law officer? And when they did change to law officer, it went from when they were peace officers, it's if you have to draw your gun when you shoot somebody, you injure. You shoot them in the leg. You shoot them in the arm.
Yeah, you maimed them, but you didn't kill them.
And now it's, you got to be prepared to
Stories.
mother, you gotta be prepared to kill your sister, your child, whoever. It's all safety of the officers and nobody else now.
Officer safety is cowardice. Public safety is
That's what
heroism.
it is.
Well, yeah, it is.
what's
But
come
I'm
down
just
to.
saying, why did it change from
Well,
peace officer to law officer? And,
Because
and when
here's the thing.
okay,
part of it
Are
is
we
don't
not-
shoot until you absolutely have to, and then if you do have to,
When do you have
you
to?
know,
When do you have to? When somebody's coming after you. If you aren't there, does somebody have the opportunity to come after you?
right.
I've had this conversation with many people, and the fact of the matter is a police officer has no business being in any situation if there is not loss, injury, or harm. If they're there and there is not loss, injury, or harm, and they are assaulted or somebody else is assaulted, and their being there is the result of them being there is loss, injury, or harm, that shit needs to come on them personally.
it should.
You know, if
Damn
they
it.
walk into the wrong fucking apartment and blow somebody away, like I've been drawn down on by police officers. I was in my fucking boxers. Literally at the basement steps, I was in boxers and fucking house shoes. Walking up, them telling me that, do you have anything? I was like, where the fuck could I, what, am I keystring it? Coming up with a fucking 9 to pop you? No.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been
Like, it's
pulled
just,
on
it's
before.
ridiculous. And the thing is do you know what breeds violence? The thing that gets more violence than any other thing out there. You know what it is?
Fear.
Violence. Violence begets violence.
Yes.
So think about it. If you go into a situation as an officer of peace, you are an emissary of peace. That means that peace is what you are going to do. You are going to remain peaceful. You are going to continue the peace of the place, not the people, the place. You're in charge of the place. Police officers do not need to protect you. They're not there to protect you. They're there to protect the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're not here for the people. Policemen are much like, do you remember in the old-timey stories like Robin Hood and stuff where you'd ride up to the castle in the movie, or the hero would ride up to the castle in the movie and there would be some guards at the front door?
Yeah.
And then they would check their weapons in
Oh
when
yeah.
walking through, and then they would
Yeah.
be able to go into the city, right?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, do you know the difference between that and a police officer? They took the walls down and added more police officers. That's all they did.
Well, there was one time a situation occurred over here at Larry's place, and I had my pistol in my back pocket because it had turned violent, not with us, but with the neighbor, but I had seen what had happened. And his own son, the one I was there making sure was all gonna be okay, because he didn't do no wrong. I seen the whole fucking thing. His own son ran and called the police and said there's a woman, you know, he didn't say brandishing, he didn't know, but there's a woman out there pointing a gun at everybody. So when it came down to it, I knew he called the cops. I heard it. I'm like, you know, you're fucking stupid. Anyway, I told Larry, I said, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to put the pistol in my back. And I said, I'm going to have my concealed carry on me. And I'm going to walk out there with my hands up. And I said, and he will handcuff me, honey. Don't freak out. And I walked out of this trailer just like that. I said, I had it in one pocket with my concealed carry license, my pistol in my jeans behind me, hands right up. Sure enough, he had his hands on his guns, ready to go. And I said, it was me. It's all cool. Don't worry. I got handcuffed, da da da. When it all was said, there were 30 cops there. And I never once showed that pistol to anybody. And when it was all said and done, the same officer said, "Damn, you got a nice piece. Where'd you get it?" I'm like, "Oklahoma, thank you."
Right.
Right? What the fuck? You know? But he told me too, I'm just doing my job. This is procedure. This is how we do things. And I'm just like, I know.
Hey,
Already know.
I need to jump off for a second. I'll be right back.
All right, man.
Okay.
We'll wait. We're gonna eat
All right.
dinner.
Right.
Pretty.
All right.
Wah.
I'll be back.
Oh, thanks for the warning.
So have you eaten dinner yet, Erm? We're having roast, potatoes, and green beans.
Damn, I should have watered down that roast stuff some. Salty.
It's a little salty.
Oh, dinner is salty. A little bit to Larry. And this is a man who will take half a salt shaker.
Whatever.
Sometimes. So we have 2 people in here. Yeah. That is a good point. Wise, if you kill them, they can't sue. But, believe it or not, families can. Yep. Families can sue.
How does peace lead to violence?
I can think of a million ways. Oh, salmon and Brussels sprouts. Nice combo. You want to come up? And Larry would like you to elaborate on the peace leading to violence. I have my thoughts, but they're kind of scattered a little bit. I would like you to kind of go with that. If not, go ahead and type it or whatever. But see, this is decent talk. We're not necessarily blaming the police for everything. We're not blaming the people for everything. We're not definitely blaming guns for everything.
What are you talking about? Guns shoot people. Guns kill people. Oh, wait.
The person behind the gun does.
Oh, shit.
Guns don't
I
kill
forgot
people.
that.
People kill people.
I forgot about that.
There it is.
Oh, shit. Now we're in trouble.
Nope. That's one of the things I always say. Guns don't kill people. People kill people.
Uncle Dirty Larry's here for you.
Evening, folks. How's dinner?
Good.
Good. A little salty, but it's okay. I should have made my own gravy. But that's all right.
We got 2 dogs in front of us that will gladly pick up anything you'll drop.
Oh, yeah.
Not only that, but we'll rip it out of your hands.
No, ain't no way.
Zeus has stolen before. And Buster did that one day.
He's never done it with me, but he's done it with other people.
He's done it with other people.
Our dogs
I
won't
was
take
eating
it
a
out of your
sandwich
hands.
and my
but
hand
they
was
are-
down. And he took off with my sandwich. Yeah.
Yeah, you turn your back for 1 second on that dog on the right, the bigger of the 2. Turn
Yeah.
your back on her for 1 second, your food's gone.
It's so funny. There was a couple weeks ago, there was somebody in here making a sandwich, and they went to the fridge to go get something. They came back, and Buster grabbed the shit right off the counter and had that thing wolfed down in half a second and looked like it was. And that's the first time he's ever done it, too. And it's the only person he's ever done it. Like I said, he's never done it to me. I've seen him do it all kinds of people walking with hot dogs and a bun.
Mhm.
Just get it all ready and have it in their hand, and they'll come by, boop, and it's gone before you can say, hey.
It's funny how fast they eat it when they know it they're not supposed to.
Oh,
He's got a
man.
huge mouth. He can put a half a roast in one bite.
Well, this one time I was over at this couple's house. That I call them home. Mom and dad. They're not really my mom and dad, but anyways, I had brought over some boneless, inch thick pork chops, and then they made the rest of the food. And two deer, a mama and a baby, had come into their backyard, and we were like, "Oh, how cool!" Well, I was smart. I picked up my plate and I put it on the counter. Just for the fact that he's a dog. My
Well,
dog.
that's experience right there.
That's knowledge because I already been around the wolves. I'm not stupid. So anyway, she left her plate on the table, but I caught a corner, the deer in the corner of my eye, and I didn't say anything. And I thought, oh, Zeus is a good boy. We came back, and her two big, inch thick pork chops were fucking gone. But the potatoes and the vegetable that was right next to them, it looked like those pork chops were never even on that plate. And we were not staring at those deer that long. I mean, like, boom. And I couldn't believe it. And I looked at him, and he had gravy just a little bit on one side of his lip. And I went, son of a bitch. I'm like, oh. So I brought him to the plate, and I yelled and, well, not yelled, I disciplined him for it. And he didn't touch anything again. And then I had my friend's wolf in the car with me one day. And that girl, Luca, she will get into everything. The owner of those wolves, literally, if he's got a drink, even if it's in like a metal sealed container, and I'm not talking soda can, I'm talking like a reusable one. And anything like an old McDonald's bag or something, he literally has to empty out his car and put the shit on his hood. And she turned around and taught my dog to scavenge in my car. So in a way, it's a good thing because I got to keep my car clean, which is no big deal. But
yeah, if you keep it clean from the dogs, you also keep it clean from all the other little critters that could get in there. So
right. But at the same time, you're like, fuck, I remember when I didn't used to have to do this shit. I could leave that McDonald's bag and go into, the Walmart literally for 5 minutes to get some fresh juice or something and literally come right back out, and he'd be asleep. No, not now. If he gets in the front seat, it makes me wonder, oh, shit, what'd I leave in the car? Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, too, she likes to keep it clean because it's a new car, but then I thought for a minute it's a year old now, so it's not a new car anymore. Uh-huh.
It's not new the second you drive it off the lot.
There you go.
5 miles. That's all it had. Well, and when it got to me, it was 105 miles because it came from the dealer. Literally drove it 100 miles from one side of Oregon to the other side of Oregon across this big old mountain pass to deliver me my car. Free of charge.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool.
Well, plus then, too, they were struggling for customers because it was during all that chaos.
Yeah, and in the amount of money they're making on a car, which is in the thousands, what's like $100 to have some guy drive it out there?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you right now. Let's say,
well, it was free. He did it free because it was paid cash for.
If they're selling a car,
cool.
If they're selling a car for $20,000, that means they bought that car for $10,000.
Yeah.
I know that for a
probably
fact.
Yeah.
It goes up 100% on a dealer markup. I know that for a fact because I worked for it wasn't a car dealership, but it was a John Deere motorcycle. They did John Deere motorcycles, lawn tractors, all kinds of shit. And they were a dealership, and that's what I learned, that, they make whatever the price tag is, it's at least half of that they paid for. That's how the only way they can stay in business.
And my new car cost like I would say at least $1,500 less than a used one that was 3 years old that we had gone and looked at.
Yeah, the used cars
The
were
used
more
car.
expensive than the new ones.
Yeah.
It's crazy what's happened to cars over the past couple of years because it used to be you buy a car and no matter what, it's worth less when you go to sell it. But
Yeah.
I got into the situation where I got my my van for work about I don't know 2 years, maybe 3 years before COVID came around.
Yeah.
And right when COVID came around, the price of my van used shot up to over $6,000 more than I paid for it.
Oh, my Lord.
That's what
But
happened with a friend
I
of
didn't buy mine new. I bought it used. Still, I got a good. I actually and I got a really good deal on it. But still, like if I sold it right now, I think I would still have made over $4,000 owning the van for like
Yeah.
7 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
think
was
you
crazy.
probably would still.
A friend of mine did that. He bought a brand new Toyota with the big V8 in it, drove it for like 6 years, decided, he wanted a six-cylinder. He took his truck in, got a brand new truck, and $12,000 for his 6-year-old truck.
Yeah, those. My dad's a Toyota mechanic. He's been a Toyota mechanic my whole life, and
Nice.
so we drive all Toyotas, and my van's a Nissan, but it makes sense to have a Toyota when you have a Toyota mechanic in the family. But
Yeah,
But still, I mean, mechanics is mechanics. Different vehicles, yeah, are a little different, but
yeah, like he does all the work on. He's always done all the work on my other cars too, and I've had other things that haven't been, Toyota. Like my van's a Nissan, and he's done all that. And like actually, my van got a couple of years ago. What was that? 3 years ago now, maybe. In the spring, we got a ridiculous lightning storm that ripped through the area one night. And it took out, like, we woke up that morning, like, it woke us up in the middle of the night, this super loud bang, like, it was right in the
Ooh.
front yard. And I was like, holy cow. And then the next day, like, 2 of our TVs were dead. A couple of other things in the house were just fried. And
yep.
then I go to start my van, and it didn't start at all. The lightning hit my van,
Oh, fuck.
wow.
which
Yep.
I didn't even know was possible. But apparently what happened was it hit the tree, because at that time our
Mhm.
driveway wasn't paved. So it hit a tree that my driveway, that my van was parked next to, and I think it went through the roots up and like arced into the van somehow. But it fried
Damn.
every computer in the van, the ABS pump, a bunch of stuff, but the insurance covered all of it. So
How could that happen with the rubber tires?
Shit happens.
yeah, so basically,
Good job.
your van, like your car is not grounded. It's on the rubber wheels, but if you
Unless-
like in the situation that I was in, I was parked next to a
Like
tree.
from the,
Huh?
It could have
it
been.
jumped from the ground to the rims maybe, and then go to that way.
It might have
the-
gone.
The
too
thing
far.
is too, there's a bunch of different ways that it can get into the van, or in my case into the van where I was parked next to the tree, because if it hits the tree, which it did, it broke a bunch of branches on the tree, so that
Gnarly.
it went through the roots and then up from the driveway, arced up into the into the chassis of the van. But there's
Damn.
also a bunch of sensors and stuff in the van, like the
Mhm.
wireless sensors for the tires, for the air pressure, the remote
ABS
starter.
and all that shit.
Right.
Yep.
So there's a bunch of sensors that it could have got into that way and sent current back into the computers.
Yep. Okay. So I would like you to back up and elaborate on the whole you think peace leads to violence.
I think, well, to clarify what I mean by that, so I think in a local setting, right, in a person-to-person setting, peace doesn't automatically lead to violence.
Okay.
But as far as the general, well, I'm talking like the general mindset of humanity, the general direction in life at the moment, that's a very big up and down wave. It's a positive into a negative, and I kind of look at peace and violence as the two opposite ends of the spectrum, in that aspect. So we can't always have violence because the cycle would not cycle. So we have to have a period of violence, a period of war, a period of whatever, and then a period of resolve. And that's kind of what I feel like is happening right now, like in a manufactured way. A bunch of division, like injected division, because if you go around day to day in your normal life, I don't really find that many people personally that are like as divisive as you see online or as you see in the media. It's just this realm that's like that. In real life, outside of the internet, I don't find much of this aggression towards each other. But they've been able to deliver it to us in a way that we experience it, and it's we absorb it. And I feel like they're injecting division and injecting violence so that we can resolve peacefully together. I think that's their goal, but I don't know how that all goes down. Like, obviously, there's, you know,
I don't know. I
We
don't
have
think
to
they
have
want us
something
to be
going on for
peaceful,
there to
because
come
when we're
for
peaceful, we're working
resolution
together.
to
They
occur.
just want to keep controlling us. And if we're
Well-
in fear, it's easier to control somebody when they're in fear than when they're at peace.
it's easier to control somebody when you're doing the opposite of what they're doing, and that's the main point. So in this period of division, they're making moves that we don't notice because of our division. And then when it comes about, let's just say the example, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but let's just say it did. Now, if Trump becomes president again and does what he says he was going to do and actually drains the swamp, that's gonna be seen as a peaceful resolution. Maybe not. It won't be. It might not be peaceful, but it's going to bring. It's going to
bring some chaos.
It'll never happen. If he was going to do it, it would have been done.
Well, see, that's what I was thinking, though, was
that's
that
just a hypothetical situation, though. But what would happen if Trump did win? He would take back the things that everybody's worried about right now, their freedoms, and their expressions. He would probably take that back and give it to the people. But what are they going to do under the guise of that? What are they doing while they give us that reward of peace? Then comes the violence, and the violence brings out like another wave of the cycle.
Yep.
So they're always doing the opposite of what they're presenting.
But see, without keeping us in that cycle, see, that's what I was thinking in my head. I didn't think the Trump thing, but the protests. So, my dad always said, because I guess when I was little, I pissed off this old lady. And I don't know why, because I was taught really good manners. You say, excuse me, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Anyway, this lady must have just been a grumpy old lady. And my dad turned around and looked at me and he goes, honey, you didn't do anything wrong. He says, remember this. You can please some of the people some of the time, but never all the time. And I just thought,
all the people all the time.
You can't make everybody happy. If they take my guns, oh fuck, there's going to be a problem. But if they let me keep them, guess what? There's going to be a problem.
The protests are actually a really good example of exactly what I'm talking about. So, what if we come to accept that a protest is now? It's never just a protest. It's always a peaceful protest. And the peaceful protest came as a result of violent protest.
Yes.
About the George Floyd thing. There was a bunch of Antifa crap. So they bring the peace out of violence. They bring it out of the opposite.
Yeah, they can. They can.
That's still a choice, though.
Of course, the choice, but it's the narrative being pushed. So, like, out of violent protests came peaceful protests.
Yeah. There has, and some peaceful ones have turned violent, and eventually they can calm down, you know. And I mean, I've never seen a protest that did not turn a little wicked one way or another.
Oh, I have. I've seen many protests that didn't get violent at all.
I feel like he kind of has to. I mean, in order to get his point across.
Well, you know, somebody's got to, because they don't listen to you unless, you know, and it's like the government, you know, oh, it's a cycle. Oh, the whole thing with Iran's done or Iraq's done. Okay. Peaceful. Oh, wait, now this shit. Oh, wait. Oh, no, this one. You know, so it's like, if there's always going to be something there, especially through our higher ups, you know, not that higher up, but, you know, the big boys that, you know, are going to make it to where there has to be, there has to be some sort of trial with resolution. Otherwise, them motherfuckers are going to be bored. What are they going to do? Twiddle their thumbs? Oh, but it's never telling us the truth, because the truth then, oh, they say, oh, if we really knew about this or this or this, guess what? All shit would hit the fan. Well, you're telling us all kinds of fake shit, and shit's hitting the fan. Why don't you be real for once and see how they take it? Because,
I think you might get what you wish for, in not too far from now. And I think at that point, is anyone going to believe it?
Exactly, because we don't know what is real anymore. But we all know,
How can you?
we can feel that something's building somewhere.
How can you think though it's all going to come to resolve pretty quick when we got our banks going bankrupt? We're wanting to go to war with Germany. We're wanting to go to war with China.
China is grouping up with Russia to come after us. I mean,
I would be very, very, very surprised if anything happened with the banks that wasn't
preordained.
No, that wasn't a very strong trend for the market long term. Like, we might see like some pullback or something with the banks, or some scare, but they've injected billions of dollars in the past weeks into the Fed by acquiring assets, and that's all they do. They buy the debt. So they wouldn't buy the debt if they saw the value of that going down. They would just let it crumble, and that'll happen someday, but it's not now.
We just went through the whole bullshit with Wells Fargo and everything, and all those other banks that got, you know, their little help from the government. They'll help them out, but what about the rest of us?
We don't matter.
We don't matter.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's important that you know why we don't matter. It's because we're not. We technically are a corporation, but we don't act like a corporation. You know, when you're born, your birth certificate makes you a corporation, not a person on paper.
Right.
So, as far as corporate
a
America
name on a
goes,
paper list.
we're not in the same corporate level as what they're doing. It's for the corporations, not for the person.
It's just, I mean, they just did all these bailouts, you know, and what is that show? Night Ranger? No, Night.
Oh,
there's this thing on Netflix we started watching. Oh my God. It was talking about those same companies, the Silicon Night Agent. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And
they were talking about the banks that were going bankrupt, but you know that film was made over a year ago, but they're talking about what's happening right now.
And it was the exact same banks. I was like, whoa. I'm like, hey, baby, check this out. I pointed it out, and he was like, oh, shit. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, that stuff has been happening since television came out. That's what they do. They tell us what they're going to do in many different packages and many different displays on shows, in many different ways too. You know.
Isn't it crazy though? It's not crazy,
Yeah,
but it's
but
like,
then again, how do they get this information in advance? Years in advance. How do they?
how does that work?
Well,
Mm,
it's all based off a system. So it's all based off of the system that they created. The being basically the Catholic Church. Back in the 1600s, the King James Bible became the official Bible. The
yeah, I
English
remember.
language became standardized as the world language, and the Gregorian calendar went into effect. All three things run by the same system, and it allows in syncing up those systems together. It allows them to know to make these plays and know how to basically play God. And they
Pretty
know the Da Vinci Code. That they know it
Mhm.
and use it.
Yeah, it's just real pretty interesting. Things that make you go, you know, makes you go, wow, huh, okay.
Yeah, it makes me wonder. Like, it makes me think about like fate. Like is fate the old question? Like, is fate real? Is everything that you do predetermined, or are the main points in your life predetermined? And there's a lot that could be said to that. Just on the fact of like the four knowledge of things that they give us, and then they happen exactly.
Yeah, that's a pretty big thing. Is the whole discussion on whether things are fate or preordained. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's a big subject right there.
It's both.
I think so too, Larry. I think it's really a good. I think
I guess we're speaking too much truth.
Oh, I think we lost you.
my what if I don't know why it does that on my phone. Like, if I don't touch my phone for like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something, the screen goes black and then I get muted.
That's your
So
settings.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably on my sleep settings or something.
It
Yeah.
is.
But when that app's open, it shouldn't let it go to sleep, though. Also,
Yeah, mine
Yeah, that's
never.
what I thought, because it's using my mic and everything. So
Yeah, it shouldn't. Especially when you're in the middle of saying something. Right? You're speaking too much truth. Well, I don't have a water bottle near me. Sorry. Oh, yep, here it is.
water bottle.
Water bottle.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's just interesting on some of them subjects. Um, the other night when Linda was on and we were all having a great time, was it last night? No, the night before. And she says, "Hey, you guys see the moon?" And there was something else above it. And I looked and I'm like, huh, I wonder if the planets are lining up. And sure enough, I looked it up and I'm like, all hell's gonna break loose. The 5 planets are gonna line up, including the moon. And I'm like, oh shit.
yeah, that's supposed to be tomorrow, right?
Um, when they're gonna be in perfect alignment. I can't remember if it's tonight or tomorrow night.
I can't remember either, but yeah, I thought it was tomorrow night. I hope
And
it's tomorrow night because it's stormy out here tonight.
in my religious views, things like that, that means you stay home, you stay quiet, you just kind of let shit lie. You know what I mean? You don't tempt.
Well, that's what it means if that's what the stars tell you to do. If the stars are telling you to go do something, then it would be better to go do it. But if the stars are projecting chaos and uncertainty, and then yeah, definitely staying at home is the way to go. But the stars tell us good things too. They don't just tell us warnings, and a lot of people look to the stars for the and the signs of revelation and for signs of bad things to come, but they don't tend to talk about the good things all that often either.
Yeah, I do. I read the astrology of it on stuff, and yeah. I'm a Gemini, so I'm like, I watch for things.
Yeah, I'm like right on the cusp of Cancer and Gemini. I'm the 23rd, so I'm like right
Oh
right
yeah,
there.
you're a cusp baby. Yeah.
Not officially a cusp baby, but I'm close enough. I share enough traits of a Gemini to be able to call myself that, I think.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
Am I real?
I don't remember. No. January. What is January
I'm
again?
Capricorn, but what?
January is an Aquarius, I think. Well, actually,
Yeah.
the beginning of January.
Capricorn, but he's almost on the cusp too, because his is on the 19th.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. The end of January is an Aquarius, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think it's right after the 19th is. I think it's the 20th is where it changes somewhere in there.
Well, it's probably not the 21st.
All I know is I'm a Capricorn.
Sounds like pepper.
I know. Like capsaicin.
Well, I might have a little spice left. So, what's your next big job?
I got it's insane right now. I've got a huge courthouse finishing up right now. That's taken up about half of my week at the moment, and then the other half I'm doing that theater job that I showed you guys the job site that morning, one morning a little while back.
Yeah.
And that job, I'm supposed to be starting the AV for that one in the coming week. So the past month or month and a half or so has actually just been the rigging for the backstage area. So I haven't even really started doing the stuff that I normally do, which is like, running the cable and hooking up all the speakers and TVs and microphones and devices and all that.
Yeah.
But that's, I'm going to be doing that whole theater for that. And then plus a huge gymnasium, another like cafeteria and an auditorium, all in that one school.
Damn.
And then a couple weeks after that, I'm starting another massive house, a 20,000 square foot house on the coast of Maine.
Fuck. That's insane.
It's awesome.
It's ridiculous. Like I finished a 17,000 square foot house in also on the coast of Maine. One of the most beautiful properties I think that really possibly exists out there. It's amazing. And that one was crazy because that was 17,000 square feet, and I'm like, that's the biggest thing I ever saw. And then now, since then, I've gone into two separate 20,000 square footers. They just keep getting bigger.
That's just crazy.
Wow.
Hey, I wanted to remind you, when you go to that courthouse, don't forget to plant those secret mics for me.
I think we've got probably 150 mics placed.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, you'll have to make sure you give me that frequency.
You should see this place. I mean, I definitely want to do a tour of the place. As long as I can do it and not get in trouble, I got to make sure that I've always want to show more than I can, but like on these bigger houses, not necessarily the commercial stuff, but like the large jobs, like the 20,000 square foot houses.
Yeah.
Some of them you got to sign NDAs for, like non-disclosure agreements.
Yeah.
And if I were to say, even really talk about it, like who the owners are or any of that stuff, I would get in some serious doo-doo. So I got to kind of walk a line there. But
yeah,
the courthouse, I want to give at least a tour of like a couple of the rooms and the administrative area. It's insane. Like I don't know how many people they're planning on processing through this court, but there's like 100 desks for like clerks to be where it's crazy.
Shit.
So
There's going to be a freight train of people going to court, huh?
it's going to be pretty crazy, and I'm actually not too excited for it because where the court is on a route that I use a lot. I do a lot of gigs that I drive by that place. I go to do recording at friends' houses and stuff. I drive by there, and the traffic pattern is going to be insane after that place opens, because they're basically closing all of the courts in southern Maine and moving them all to that one massive place, because there's 13 courtrooms in it. So
Holy
Nice.
it's a massive place. So it's gonna, I feel like it's gonna connect that city quite a bit.
Okay, so the thing to your, question about the planets lining up, it will be the peak of the planetary parade, as they call it, is expected after sunset on March 28th, when Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, Uranus, Mars, and the Moon all line on
Oh, it's the
28th.
28th. Oh, okay, that's even later.
But after that, there's a whole bunch that are going to be, doing all kinds of stuff. You'll be able to see certain ones at certain times, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And into April and some in June. Like June 24th, 45 minutes before sunset. You can look for Saturn, Mars, Jupiter, and Venus.
How can you see the planets when it's still daylight?
45 minutes before sunrise. Before
Oh,
sunrise.
you said sunset.
I meant sunrise. So yeah, this for the next few months, we're going to be seeing several of that coming about.
That's cool.
I think it's really neat. And my friend just got a telescope, so that's going to be really cool.
I got a pretty nice one my son gave me, but it's missing the front lens that you look into.
And the mirrors.
Mirrors are
And
inside of it.
mirrors.
It's just missing that one line that you look through at the very
Oh,
end.
the little top eyepiece.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't think that would cost very much.
you'd have to know how it was
The size.
concaved or the magnified and all that other bullshit.
Yeah.
It'd probably be cheaper just to get another one. I don't know though.
I don't know. I think Wish.com sells that
Yeah.
individual stuff. You just have to be careful with the details.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. You got a bunch of work lined up for you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy one. And then we got the band starts their summer schedule the middle of May.
Yeah,
So we'll be trying to stream some of those shows and stuff.
that'd be cool. I'd
Yeah.
love to hear it.
Keep yourself busy.
I think I have one on my channel. I think I have a live stream on my channel of my band playing in like December, end of December.
Yeah.
And I think that one's still up there. It's like the Pilot House Prelude is what it says.
That's cool. I'll have to check it out sometime.
Yeah, we did we recorded the first set that night, and it came out not bad.
Cowabunga.
What are you guys up to tomorrow?
Tomorrow? I know she's gonna be leaving sometime tomorrow. She's gotta go watch the Wolves for a few hours. I guess the Wolf owner's gotta go do something. So it's the first time she's watched them in 2 months or a month? She went in the other room. Baby, it's been 2 months since you watched the dogs?
What?
Has it been 2 months since you watched the dogs?
Oh, I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's close to 2 months, I think.
About a month or so. I don't know. It's been a while. Too long.
That's about it. I don't know. It was nice for a couple days, 2 or 3 days, and I went outside, did some cleaning up, and last couple days it's been raining and trying to snow and stuff. So a lot of it's going to be weather decision made.
We're kind of in that same boat in our season right now. It's kind of like doesn't know if it wants to rain or snow, and it's not quite spring yet, but it's not winter either.
Yeah. Well, it was weird because like 3 days ago, when we usually take the dogs for a walk, their last walk around 7 or 7:30, and 3 days ago it was really dark out, and then we went last night and it was still daylight out.
Yeah.
So it was weird how much of a difference it was in just a couple days.
Yeah, I think that the at this point in the year, I think the amount of minutes that we get per day of sun is more than closer to the solstice, because it I feel like it climbs faster now than it does when it's getting towards the solstice.
Yeah.
Are you scraping ice in there? What's going on?
Dog food.
Getting dog
Oh.
food in. Sorry.
No, I don't care. It just sounded like you were emptying buckets of ice into a cup or something.
No, we got a big, huge tub full of dog food because I got to get like a 40 or 50 pound bag to last, all month.
Yeah.
So get in a big tote, and we have a cup in there, so you just scoop it out in the cup, and it takes like 3 cups to fill their bowl.
So
Our dogs eat like, I think it's like a third of a cup. They're so small. Oh my god.
yeah. Yeah,
Well,
not these guys.
My dog has always been self-grain. He feeds himself with whenever he gets hungry. I've always had
Yeah.
food out for him.
Yeah. That's what we do.
And he's never, I mean, I had a vet say he was overweight when he was younger, but nobody's ever else thought that he was overweight or whatever.
Yeah, technically, if your dog is at a healthy weight, you can actually see their ribs a little bit.
Yeah.
With him, he can't really see his ribs. It's more muscles.
Yeah.
So,
But we both
I mean-
I leave the food out for the cats. I leave the food out for the dogs.
Hey, Bubby.
Because none of them
Hey,
have ever
Bubby.
Lester,
been greedy little shits. You know what
he
I'm
moved
saying?
his ear for you.
Now, the
Lester.
wolf, on the other hand, one of them, she'll eat till the day is long. She'll puke and then start eating again. So yeah, with some animals, you can't do that with.
Our dog will puke and then eat the puke.
We can even trust them, even at Larry's house and at my house. Now Larry has to hide his cat food a little bit more, but mine is just in an auto feeder right there, in the dining room, and Zeus's food is in a big bowl in the living room, and he never eats their food, and rarely do they eat his. It's just how it is. It's awesome.
My friend's got one of those cat bowls that has the hopper on the top, and then it has an app on his phone, and he presses a button and like a couple things come out and it goes.
That's funny. Yeah.
A friend of mine has one of those that he gives his dog a treat every couple hours.
Yeah, that's really cool. I
Push a
knew
button and fucking couple little treats come out.
I knew somebody who had a screen and everything, and they hit a button, or they went to the app on their phone, and they would go, "Hey, Bubby," whatever, and here her image would show up on the screen, and the dog would come running and hauling ass. And she goes, "You want a treat? You want a treat? Who's been a good boy?" And then she can hit a button to give him a treat, or she can just say, "Hey, I'm checking on you. I love you," type thing. It was awesome.
What amazes me is the damn animal's internal clock.
Oh,
Their internal clock is so precise. Like last night, it was like 20 after 7, and they're both at the door and they're looking at us, and you go, "You know what the dogs are trying to tell us?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's time to go for a walk."
uh-huh.
Yep.
You know exactly what fucking time it is, and it's like, how the fuck do they do that shit?
Yeah, our dogs know that we feed them dinner at 4 o'clock every day,
Yeah.
and at 3:45 on the nose, they get off the couch and they start begging.
Yep.
Yep. And they'll start knowing when you leave in the morning for work and when you come back. Because I've seen that in the wolves too. It's like you can see that they start kind of getting a little more lively and stuff, and they'll go check the long gravel driveway and come back, and I'll try and keep them busy and stuff. It's funny. This is crazy how they can do that.
I would say
Wow.
probably 70% of the dog on the left's picture, in that picture, the dog on the left, probably about 70% of her life has been spent under a blanket.
Yep.
Every time we sit on the couch, we gotta pat the blanket down because she's only 7 pounds. So sometimes you don't even see her in the blanket, and you sit down and you hear her.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
What happens with me is I'll go to get it like some milk or something, and I'll get up and the fucking cat will sit in my seat, and he won't be there, and then he'll jump in my seat just before I'll sit down, you know.
Yep. Or the second, and I mean the second he stands up when I'm here, they're in it. Instant.
Yeah.
Even if they're in my lap, it's like, okay, it's warm. Daddy just got up. And then my dog, it's like he likes to be up on the couch with me. And, you know, Buster usually crawls in with his dad, you know, in the bed. And Zeus will crawl up here on the couch with me. And as soon as we need him to move for, you know, Larry to come lay down, he won't even make eye contact. He'll flip an arm up and he'll flip that leg up and show you the whole thing without even giving you recognition. It's just pay your toll, you know.
You gotta
And
pay
I
the
look at him
toll.
like, who's going to pay the toll, you or me? How bad do you want to sit down? It's so funny. But now my dog won't even look at you. He won't even turn his eye or his head or blink or nothing at you now. He'll
He
just,
just lifts his leg.
yep,
Give him a big belly, pet it, buddy. Here
he
it is.
does. It's crazy. It's like rude much.
And then when he does it, I'll say, "What in the hell makes you think I want to rub that big damn belly? That's an all-day job."
Yeah, he's 72% Malamute, so
Oh wow.
he's not a skinny little thing.
Our friends have a Timberwolf mixed with a Malamute mixed with, I think, a Husky.
Oh,
It
I
is-
bet it's beautiful.
It's huge. It's like I think it's like 130 pounds.
That's about right.
It's massive.
Yep. Mallees can be up to 225, 250.
Yeah,
And back
that's
down
scary.
to 2 once you shave them.
Yeah, that's
Husky.
crazy. We go over their house in like the fall. I think it's the fall, and or maybe it's actually right around now. They're shedding their coat, but they have to have trash bags.
Yes.
It's insane how much you can sit on the couch with them and just all day just pull, and it just keeps coming.
Yeah.
You pluck. My dog hates it when I pluck at him, but they call it blowouts. They have blowouts, big blowouts twice a year, and it's usually around this time of year, yeah. And then they'll have another one midsummer, late summer. Sometimes they'll hold it off until like September, October, because if they're outdoor dogs, you know, their bodies get a little confused because they don't their bodies don't understand. It's like, okay, it's hot as hell outside, but yet they got the air conditioner on 70. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it's cold as hell outside, 30, 40 degrees or whatever, but mom and dad have it 60 inside or 68 or whatever. So those can be,
Yeah, they don't grow those great big coats to spend the winter in a 60-degree house.
No, they don't. And so that's why they could have, a fall blowout, and usually they do. But one thing I do a lot of is just sitting there plucking, or I'm brushing them out. And it could take hours sometimes. And I've shown it before, this thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's a rake. And it's got different size. Let's see. You see how the pegs are different sizes?
Yep.
So it'll get the upper coat and the lower coat. And I'll go boom, boom, boom this way, and I'll have to turn a quarter to this way, and then back that way, and then back this way. And you still won't get it all.
Know what our friends do too is they save their toilet paper rolls, and then they stuff the toilet paper rolls full of husky hair.
Yep.
And then they put them in a bucket, and that's their fire starter for their wood stove for this season.
You can do that. Yeah, you can do that with used dryer sheets too.
Yeah.
But what I do with the fur is I put it out for the birds.
Oh,
And the
yep, they do a little bit of that too.
Yeah, they take it for their nests. And there's some people that will keep the fur and have Afghans and all kinds of stuff made out of it. You know, you bathe them real good, whatever, and they can make whatever out of it, just like sheep's wool or whatever. I mean,
Yeah, you just gotta have
I've done-
what is that tool that makes the
Shearing.
no, the damn it. The one that weaves the hair into a fat
a
like
loom.
a loom. There you go. Yeah, as long as you have one of those.
Yeah. I told the wolf's daddy, I said, you should sell this shit. I said, we can get out of one dog sometimes a big brown not plastic, but paper bag full of one dog. It's crazy. It can be bad, and Zeus's do really bad. I was going to do it.
Buster.
I do when I brush Zeus, my Mally Husky mix. I do it outside where I know the birds are going to get it, and I wait for the mowers to come on Wednesday for the complex, and then I do it on the side of my apartment where there's no other apartments by the garden beds, and I will do it there. And I'm telling you what, before those gardeners come back the next week, that fur is gone.
Oh yeah, I would say very quickly. Once
Yeah.
birds find something like that, they go at it till it's gone.
Yeah, and you know, you don't want that fur on everything, so it's like you're constantly going. You know, you're drinking it, you're eating it, you're you know.
Yeah, you mentioned timber. That's what Buster is. He's half timber and half rot.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he's a big boy.
His mom was huge. Her head was like, I swear it was like this big. It was fucking like a dinner plate. It was huge.
Probably eat you for dinner.
Oh, she was a big baby like Buster is.
There's Buster.
That's part of the
Oh, Buster.
And then Lane, look at that next to him. Trying to get the camera right. Sorry.
Next to him.
Look
Oh,
at that.
above him. Yeah.
Yeah, there's my Mally. But look at the links. They're almost the same.
Wow.
Because my Mally's a big boy. And it was so funny because my friends used to say, I'm so glad that you got him fixed. And I'm like, I'm not. I wanted to pass his genes on. He has amazing genes. And I wanted to pass it on just one litter, not for the money, but because I wanted to pass on that love and passion and demeanor and everything that this guy had.
Yeah.
He got attacked by the timber wolf, my friend's timber wolf, one night. And I had to literally grab them. I tried pulling the leashes apart. I had to grab jaws and literally rip them apart. I got bit by accident, but it tore. The timber cut from like over here on his eye down into an actual eyelid, and 2 punctures on his lower lip, and then the timber got only 3 punctures by the lip before I had my hands in their jaws. And I separated them, assessed the damage, called the daddy, and I said, we got a problem because the one was going into heat. The
Oh,
one masking was getting ready to go into heat, and the timber's not fixed. And Zeus was no threat at all. He knows he's not alpha. That timber knows he is alpha. And I'm still angry with myself that I allowed the wolf daddy to convince me to fix Zeus. It'll solve the problem, you know, da 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 da. No, he got attacked again one last time after that. So now when she's in heat and I'm babysitting, he's got to keep Zeus for like last time was 3 weeks.
yeah.
You know, just for my dog's safety. Because no, nipping his balls didn't do it, but he did gain about 40 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my friends say, yeah, he looked anorexic before, and I'm like,
They hate each other.
oh, these two dogs, you can tell they hate each other.
They look like they haven't been able to settle their differences.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Right? Yeah. And we were talking about the cats taking our seat. I just got up to show you the two dogs, and I turn around to sit, and Willow was in my seat.
Yeah.
Sillies, I'm telling you. Animals are quite interesting. Some of them.
show you guys how big the ducks have gotten. Oh my god.
What?
I gotta show you guys how big our ducks have gotten. We got our little ducklings
Oh,
Oh.
the other day.
I love little ducklings. They're so adorable.
If I can, is it showing my camera now?
I hear them.
Black.
I think I got the wrong camera on. Hold on.
I hear them though.
Front camera.
Come on, audio video man.
I know.
What's going on here?
You tell us. You're supposed to be the expert.
I can hear. I heard them though. I heard a couple chirp chirps.
So we got the black screen.
Yep.
I don't know why it's not showing my camera.
But see, some audio video man you are.
Did you go
Oh,
to
yeah.
the settings?
You had a chance to shine and look at what you're doing.
Disappointing as always. Yeah, it's not showing my camera. I've tried switching to both of them, but it's not showing
Maybe
me.
come back in.
I wonder if it's because my battery's low. I'll try
Hello.
coming back
No,
in.
it doesn't work.
Oh.
I think he's going out and coming back in.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Willow? What are you doing? You better not be doing. Get down. Come on. I don't trust you. Come on. Okay. I don't trust her. I hate to say it, but I don't. Don't you give me stink eye. Yeah, you were saying you had salmon and Brussels sprouts. Did you?
Nobody's in the room.
Oh, well, it's hard to tell if they are or not. There you are.
It doesn't seem to be using my camera. I don't know what's up.
Well, I ain't hiring you for no audio video work.
This isn't audio video. This is cell phones. I am not.
Whatever. No excuses. I don't want to hear it.
I was wondering too if you had barbecued the salmon and Brussels sprouts, or
Normally
smoked them.
I do, but we don't really have the grill set up right now because it's wintertime. So I usually just bake it in the winter anyway.
I remember in California there was no downtime for barbecuing. We always barbecued.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
always nice in California too.
Not lately, but yeah.
It's just a pain in the butt to drag the grill in and out of the barn to like get it away from the snow, because like
Right.
where I have the grill is right where the plow truck pushes all the snow.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Yeah.
I usually just wheel it in for the winter, and then once the snow's gone, I bring it out. But it's actually right around now is when I do that. But no,
I
we
know.
just baked it tonight.
I know a lot of people who smoke their stuff during the winter, and then
Yeah.
barbecue in the summer.
Yeah, I
Oh.
never got into the smoking. I have a couple friends that do it and like doing it, but I've never done that.
Smoked fish. First time I ever had smoked salmon. I didn't like salmon before then, but I then had smoked salmon, and I think I ate a whole side of one. It was so amazing and delicious. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, you gotta. It's amazing. And I have a dehydrator now, and I want to learn how to do that. How to start dehydrating fruit and food, jerky and stuff like that. It's just a matter of being able to afford it, the jerky and even the fresh fruits and stuff.
We did that last year with the garden. We got a dehydrator like halfway through the season, and then we started just dehydrating all of our herbs and crushing them up and putting them in jars, and we still got plenty left from last year's. We got all the basil and rosemary and all that stuff. And,
Awesome.
So that thing paid for itself real quick, because we were just, and then we would also in the summer when you got good fruit. I don't tend to buy a lot of fruit in the winter because it's just not very good. But
Yeah.
Once the fruit starts being seasonal and good again, I start buying a lot of it, and sometimes I buy more than we can eat. But instead of throwing it away, we just dehydrate it, and then
Yep.
we got little. And you can candy them a little bit, like sprinkle a little sugar on them if you want to make them like sweet snacks.
Yep. Yeah, certain ones you don't have to do anything for, like
Oh,
banana.
most of them you don't. Yeah, my favorite one's the mango.
I heard that's really good. I was going to try that this year, but and in the dehydrator, there's a store called Bi-Mart here, and it's amazing. And every week on Tuesdays, there's one person has the big number, and that big number, it's your membership number it goes by, and that big number you win like a major prize. And I've only won once in the 7 years it's been around, in my town, and I won a buddy heater. But I had my choice of like 3 other things, and I said, well, I won't use that, I don't know, and da. I'll take the buddy heater just in case. And then, but my friends have won like a blender. They won the dehydrator, that's like multi-tier and everything. They won a coffee pot. They've won a whole bunch of stuff. And I was like, all I've ever won was like a bag of peanuts or a bag of caramel popcorn or something,
Yeah.
because you have like the last number of your membership card too, and that you could win like the peanuts or whatever. But anyways, I won that one time, and I got the buddy heater, and then I paid my friends $10 for the dehydrator because they said we'll never use it, and I'm like, hello, I'll give you 10 bucks. They're like sold,
Well,
So-
we gotta get these dogs for a walk.
Yeah, it's 7 o'clock, so
Yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and end this, bud. We gotta go
Cool, man.
take the dogs for a walk.
yep.
Enjoy your evening walk.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you have a good night as well.
We walk the
too.
dogs and chill for a little bit, and then hit the sack.
Yeah.
I'll get the camera working for next time. Show you these ducks.
Yes,
whatever.
please. I want
Whatever.
to see the babies.
Mr. Audio Video Man, telling him about all these jobs he's got. He can't even figure his damn.
That's funny shit
Some
right there.
people's parents. Tell you, some people's parents.
Hey, you know what I say? Fake it till you make it, right?
That's what
There
she
you
said.
go. Ha ha, right.
Herbs. I mean, well, whatever. Yeah.
Have a good
All
night.
right. Don't let that door hit you in the ass.
Peace out with everybody.
Peace
All right.
out.
Take care. That's my intake.